Hi all. Thank you so much. I hope everyone is having a really good day, you know, um, a day of purpose, a day that reflects who you are. And I just wanted to share how grateful I am um, to have so many visitors on my channel that appreciate the messages I share. Um, I wanted to talk about today about co-creating, when we're co-creating with the universe and manifesting our heart's desires. I have been sharing messages on getting more in alignment and letting go of negative beliefs that often damage our journey to our path. Everything is a part of the journey, even if when we're making mistakes and we're not even aware. And I wanted to talk about self-compassion. and um, and it's difficult sometimes when we're going through our journey of finding out who we are to have compassion for ourselves and even for others, because compassion can become something like not communicating our boundaries, because we're being kind. We want to be kind, we want to be, you know, generous and loving. And sometimes we may attract people that don't share the same values and don't respect our boundaries. And having self-compassion to enforce what we find important, what we find that is our right, our God-given right to say no to things, and this may create conflicts, because I think this has happened for every woman. When you say no, I don't, like an example, I've been asked many times if I wanted a casual relationship. I'm not a casual person. There's nothing casual about me, and I don't do casual relationships. It doesn't mean that I'm a police woman and you have to commit. I mean, I have to get to know the person before I even want to initiate anything. And as a friend, when I see someone's behavior, I understand whether this person is someone that's going to bring out the best in me, or whether they're not in alignment with who I am. And in occasion I've said no to requests like this, and then the men become aggressive and try to hurt me or humble me. And it's just really sad, because it's like a child, like, I want a toy, and you say, well, now is not the right time for this toy. And let alone, the toy is my body and my heart, and I have a right to say no and yes to the things I want to experience in my body. And when I say no to someone and that person then turns to me and becomes aggressive, it only shows that I did the right thing. So when someone doesn't respect your boundaries, they're literally saying that they don't want you to be okay, they don't want you to be safe, and they don't really care about you. Literally, that's what they're saying with their actions. And they may try to find excuses to say, oh no, that's not what I meant. But if it happens more than 3 times, even the first time is already a good signal. And I wanted to know about self-compassion, that we have to reflect in our lives and know, start observing those moments when our rights are not being respected, our requests are not being honored. Because some people in many communities, not only in the spiritual, lack boundaries and lack understanding that other people have other needs than they may desire. And this can be received with perhaps with aggressiveness, because they're not used to somebody saying no to them. And this happens in tantric circles or any other circles where there's those kind of people that want to challenge your boundaries and who you are and who you are authentically. If I don't feel desire for someone, and I know that you know, something like I don't have anything against casual relationships, I just don't do them because of who I am. I am not a casual person. I had to understand that about me. And when somebody tries to enforce their desires above yours, it's nothing out of love, it's out of the ego. And you know, and having to, what one has to understand that you can't blame yourself for what people how people respond to your boundaries. You can only honor yourself because you actually decided to express them, because they are true, that's who you are, and you're learning to share that with others, that this is not what I'm into, you know. It's like, you know, so it's really important to honor ourselves and no, you know, and not fear that by saying no to something that is not even good for you, that you have to keep that friendship going. A genuine friend wouldn't make you break your boundaries just to please them. It's the same thing as peer pressure, coercion, manipulation. Is like forcing someone, oh, I won't like you if you won't sleep with me, oh, you won't come to my party if you don't sell, you know, your soul to, you know, to eat some you know, to just attend the party. I don't know, but I think we all have experienced that, and it's so important to honor ourselves and to have compassion for the journey and the path that we're choosing, whether it is to be genuinely yourself and not to follow the crowd. You know, you have to honor who you are and the battles you've won. It takes courage to say no to things that you don't feel good about, that are not going to honor you. And you may risk not being liked. So what? You know, the people who are for you, they won't even bat an eyelid if you say no to something, you know. And that's and it's really important to remember that people who want casual things, they're not very good people. They don't care about you, they just want to use you temporarily, and that's okay if you are in that space. But if that's not who you are, it's not okay to just push down someone and treat them like rubbish because they don't desire you the same way, or they don't share the same values and beliefs, you know, that you have. I don't push down people that, you know, if people want casual relationships, I say, if that makes you happy, go for it, but not with me. You know, don't make me, you know, an asset to to whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's not my thing. And so it's really important that we stand up for ourselves, because nobody can stand up for you better than you, and we have to develop our voice and our words, and courage to be authentic and say no. It's okay to say no to things that are not don't feel in alignment for you. And with that comes also self-love, you know, to really fall in love with yourself. You may have to fall away from the crowd and the things that you're used to discover what is loving about you, because sometimes the people we surround ourselves with don't seem to honor us or see us or treat us with the respect. And you can notice that, like, when you leave your people that grew up with you and go to high school, you know, certain people treat you much better than your own family members, your cousins, and often the people that are family may not respect you so much. So when we are trying to develop into who we really are, the people who really respect you will support you through that journey, through that process of becoming someone else. Like, I'm not the same person that went to high school. I'm not the same person that went to university. You know, I've become a mother. I've done so many other things than the things I've accomplished the last 4 years. And, you know, when people aren't educating themselves or becoming self-actualized and recognizing that the passage of time and try to infantilize you and make you seem like you have to become the person that they want you to be because it suits them not to see your evolution, then you're doing a disservice to yourself by allowing that kind of treatment. So it's really important that we give ourselves that self-love and to spend time reflecting in our heart centers, because it's in the heart that we really store all these memories of pain, and even our desires, our inspiration. Um, it's all stored there. Like when you have an exciting thought, or when you experience something beautiful and majestic, all those emotions are stored in the heart. So it's really sorry. I was just looking at this. Beautiful array of flowers and the bees, coming in and feeding and getting the pollen. Yeah, but it's so very important that we go through this process of filling our heart center and really connecting with nature throughout this year, and really connecting with the heart, and really breathing in and sensing what is truth, what is the truth and what is the untruth, what really matters, and what is something that what is something that I really need, and what is something that I just desire. And if that need is really important, how can we reach it? We don't know how long we have in this life, but it's so important to get to know ourselves. Nobody can advocate for you better than you. And if you have a voice and you lack the words and the courage, keep working on yourself. There's so many teachers out there. There's so many wise coaches, I myself included. But what I'm saying is, like, it's so important that we surround ourselves with the things that inspire us. We may not know who we are, but if you surround yourself with the things that bring out joy from you, when you see someone speak and they inspires you, that there's like a rumble in your belly, and like your skin, your skin, like how do you say the word, when you feel really inspired, you feel a ripple on your skin, and your heart vibrating. And the only way to really learn to listen to our inner voice and to develop our inner voice is to tell the truth to ourselves. When something makes us happy, when something makes us sad, when we do not like something, because we are sometimes we're so used to being in a society that we want to make everyone happy, and we lose our voice, we lose ourselves, pleasing everyone, giving everyone what they need, and you forget who you really are because you haven't discovered yourself, because you're so used to looking at the external and not focusing on what's within. So it's very easy for us to lose ourselves in this dynamic that we are looking at the world, and we love these beautiful things and these beautiful people and the beautiful experiences, but also we need to connect with ourselves to start understanding where we sit with everything, what is making me want to leap forward, what is making me grow, what is making me retract, what am I resisting, and why is that? And getting closer, and like doing mirror work is such a great way to connect with self, because if you do it in the morning and in the evening, you can start really connecting deeper and asking those questions and making some affirmations and really looking at your reactions, like falling in love with yourself. Like, I love you, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I'm sorry. Because we sometimes become our own villains because we allow ourselves to be victimized. And repeat patterns that we are used to from childhood, that are so familiar, that we all had in family settings, or some of us don't even have families or didn't grow up close to the people that brought us here. And but then healing those perceptions and taking back our power and saying, well, I have victimized myself, because a lot of our families, they're also emotionally undeveloped, and they have had very little time to grow in that way. So toxic behavior basically are people that are ignorant and damaged, and they refuse to grow for perhaps for ignorance or lack of resources, and sometimes from their own will. But if we allow ourselves to be infected with that toxicity and just become like them, then we are nothing. We are not evolving, we are not getting healthier, and abandoning ourselves to please others is just the same pattern as being toxic. So self-toxicity, or self-invalidation, self-abandonment, just to please others. It's okay to do things that are benevolent for society, for the world, but not at the cost of your own emotional stability and emotional well-being. So enforcing boundaries can be tough when it comes, when it's your first time. It's like riding a bicycle. You're like, instead of saying no, I don't want this, you may say no, I don't want this, but it doesn't mean that you're not gonna get better. Like a bicycle is like a muscle. You're gonna develop it, and slowly but surely, with perseverance, with developing more a healthier habit of saying no, you're going to be able to negotiate things and say no to things that normally you wouldn't be able to do. That you would be shy. Perhaps you were shy in the past, or perhaps you didn't want people not to like you. But I think, I think it's so important to find out who we really are and what we really like. I don't want everyone to be like me. I want people to show me new things and to rediscover themselves. So I hope you fall in love with yourself. I hope you find your path to you, back to you, because no one is more important than you, because you make this world what it is. You bring it diversity, you bring it variety, and you have your own symphony that your soul essence, your true soul essence plays every day. And it's so important that we all flourish, because we all have gifts that can benefit each other. We are all puzzles of each other's quests on earth. So I hope you find your way. I hope you find your way out of the maze, or whatever maze of ignorance and aspects of self that have not been seen, and design your journey the way you feel inspired to, even if you have to recreate it many times and start and even if things break down several times and you have to start and start again, it's never too late. So I'm sending you lots of love in your journey of self-discovery and self-exploration, personal development, and just adventure of learning to love yourself. I love you. Mwah. So much. Enjoy.